Hello.
Good evening, all.
Did everyone see the Picasso drawings yet again?
Yeah, I noticed that. Thank you.
Hello. Right. There's a lot of feedback coming from someone.
Somebody's got the volume up.
Joe.
It's not me. It's not me.
It is. Because when I mute you, it stops. Anyway, while Joe's muted, I'm going to get a word in quickly. So this is for Kelly only. To stop all the confusion, there are 3 streams this week. Tonight, House of John on Friday, which is the live investigation.
Yes.
And on Sunday, I did an investigation last night at 2 different cemeteries. That's going to get premiered at 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. So you got three lots this week.
Yep.
And then we're doing a recording tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And that's going out next Wednesday. So that's it. So evening to everyone who I haven't said hello to. Hello. Any questions? Because Joe hasn't got any paperwork. Any questions? Keep putting caps.
Hello.
Every time. Right.
No, it's
hello.
Still. So evening, everybody. And so we're joined by Jo Weeks and Nicname. So they're both going to be talking about different things. So who would like to go first?
Nick's muted, and I can't unmute her.
Right, I can do it. There we go.
I don't mind going first.
Yeah, do you want to go first then?
All right, so the chat
go,
and they can have good old chin wagging there.
Yeah.
Time to be go.
And they can have good old chin wagging there.
Right, somebody's still got the sound on the phone.
Experiences myself. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Experiences myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This is all a bit jumpy.
Right. Why don't we, me, you, and Joe mute, and then leave Nick on.
Hello, Alison. Before I'm muted.
Right, Nicname.
Right. Hope you guys can hear me all right. Stories. Experience. Yeah, bro. So my experience was when I was young. I shared a bedroom with my brother, and we was in bunk beds, and I was in the bottom bunk. I was only 3 or 4 because I only lived in this house until I was 4. So it was a young. It was a memory that stayed with me. So I remember being in bed, and it was dark, and I wasn't sleeping, and I sat up, and at the foot of the bed there was a chest of drawers, and there was a window, and the curtains were shut because it was bedtime. But I was sat wide awake thinking, I don't want to go to bed yet. And I just sat in bed upright, looking at the bottom of the bed at these shut curtains. And I was staring, thinking, they're going to move in a minute. I think the curtain's going to move. I don't know why, but I stood watching thinking I'm going to wait until it moves and see, because I had a big feeling that for some reason they were going to open. So I was staring, and lo and behold, a corner did open from the inside. I can demo it actually if it's not glitchy. And I couldn't believe it because I was like, I'm 3 or 4. I can do magic. I couldn't believe that I was staring, thinking this is going to happen. And then shortly after that, it opened, and it stayed open. After that, I was like, oh, right, what do I do now? Do I hide under the covers, or do I stare and see what comes out of this curtain? It was quiet in the whole house, but there would have been parents around. So I was staring and wondering, thinking, right, do I wait until mum or dad come up and check on us? You know, because you're 3 or 4, what do you do? You think, I'm not getting out of bed. No way am I getting out of bed. But there was this wonder of, I can do magic. And there was this wonder of, now I'm scared. Now I don't know what to do. So I ended up hiding under the covers, like you do. And that's how I ended up, really, how the event ended. I stayed under the covers till I got hot enough to stick a little bit of head out, but then open my eyes. And I thought, right, in the morning, I'm going to see if there's something on the other side or if the curtain's still open. It did come morning, and I looked, and the curtain was, sure enough, back where it was. So that was weird, because I knew the event was going to happen, and it happened. Never happened again. Nothing like that's ever happened again. A couple of years ago, my dad was saying about when he was a kid in that house. Now, this house wasn't old. It was Bracknell, which is a new town that was built 50s post-war. So it wasn't an old house. The land might have had history to it, but there was no, not haunted. No one died in that house. But he said when he was a kid in that same room, he woke up to something scratching him in the back from the bed in that same room. And when he was a bit older, going into his wardrobe, he opened the door and something growled at him, and he ran out scared. So there is something going on in that house, but don't know what. It was all in that house, those things going on, and in that particular room. Had I known a bit more about that, probably wouldn't have happily stayed in that room as a kid. But yeah, he said he heard things like bouncing down the stairs at night when he was in bed in that room. But I guess because I was too young, if I heard any pitter patter, I might have thought it was the dog, or it was, people walking around. So it does make you wonder how many times something might have come in that room. Do remember being tucked in really tight, because my duvet was on the floor frequently, and they did used to really ram it down round so I couldn't move and then wake up in the night freezing cold because it was on the floor. So there was definitely something going on in there, but I can't say I know what it is. I don't know if it was attached to the land or to things going on with people. My granddad lived in that house as well, and he had some war trauma. So I always thought, I wonder if something's attached to him from that. I can give you a tiny bit of background on that if you like, just what makes me say that.
Well,
so
Joe,
he was actually...
just before you do, Rick Allen has asked a couple of questions. What is the time span?
Well, how long ago did it happen?
Well, he said,
so
what
this
is
would
the
have
time
been
span? In 20 years. So
no, it was in the 80s. And my dad, it would have been 70s for him, 60s, 70s. So yeah, in terms of the family line, but for me, it was well over 20 years ago. I was going to try and do a demo with this corner, but the camera's a bit weird on this stream. But it was pitch black room. So this literally from like this, as if I was doing this, just went across like that and just stayed like that. And then I woke up in the morning, it was back down. So it was out this side, not from an inside. But I was scared looking at it, thinking, what's on the other side? What's going to come through? And there was a bit of bewilderment, and I'm scared. But that's all it did. But knowing the history of things that had gone on in that house and in that room, it makes you think, well, when I thought I've heard the door go and parents checking on me, was it them? So just going back to a bit of my granddad's side, he was Polish, and when he was 15, the Germans went to Poland, and they basically just went and took people from their own homes to fight for them. So he was taken early hours in the morning on a boat and enlisted, and that was it really. You do or die sort of thing. So he did end up fighting for the German army. He was on a ship that was sunk, and eventually he was captured by the British and ended up fighting for the British. So he's always had that fighting for both sides thing.
Yeah.
And also he did have someone that was a friend that died in his arms with a message for him to pass on to the family that he never did. So he had that big regret and the upset with that. So he always wonder if something attached to him from his war experience or what. But the area in particular has got some ancient, it's got Bill Hill. I won't say specifically what road and estate it was, but there is a bit of history. And there's also Caesar's Camp as well. So if people know a bit about that or if they're interested, that was Iron Age. If anyone's got any interest in that as well in the chat that wants to see where that might tie in with ancient land or people. So
yeah,
I'll mute so you can talk a minute.
oh,
So
that's right. I've got another question for you from Rick again.
Yeah.
He's asking, have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Not that I know of, no. Had vivid dreams when I was younger.
Yeah.
And when you're young, you think monsters are green and got multi eyes and that.
Yeah.
But my dad had the communion book, and when I saw that, I thought, oh, so that's what they look like. I used to turn that upside down because the cover frightened me.
Yeah.
You know, to me, that was frightening. Maybe in life I wouldn't mind being regressed just to see if other things went on, but a bit worried about what you might find out. But I might be interested in that, but not with sleep. But vivid dreams, weird things, you know, like giants or something coming past the window. I didn't ever believe that was actually anything happening, but it did sort of trigger these sort of dreams, making me think there was a giant or there was someone stood there. But yeah, no sleep paralysis.
Right. Right. Joe, can you unmute yourself, please?
I haven't seen a shadow person, no. That I know of.
No.
Now I question things, thinking when you hear someone walking up to your bed and you're thinking that's mum or dad, I'm keeping my eyes shut tight because I don't want them to know I'm awake.
Yeah.
It makes you think, well, actually, who knows? It could have been a shadow person that was opening the curtain, but it was so dark I couldn't see anything on the other side, and I couldn't see anything in the room.
Yeah, because you said it was solid black, didn't you? It's like pitch black.
Yeah, couldn't see anything. That was the fear, was something's going to pop up at the window or come in from the window. But I do remember that the curtains were shut in the morning and the windows were shut as well, so it wasn't like wind. But the way it opened was too, it was like someone grabbed the curtain and was like, here you are, have a look.
Like an arm movement.
Yeah, it was, but there was no arm. There was nobody there. It was really strange and a one-off. But yeah, I would like to know if anything has gone on in that house. Maybe I might letter to the address and say, but it wasn't, an old house. So you kind of think something's got attached there and it's going on in that room. I do know my mum did a Ouija board once, and I don't know if it was in that house, in that room.
Right.
But people don't close them down, do they? Sometimes they get scared or get bored or drunk. And then you think, well, if it happened in that room, I wouldn't be surprised. However, it went on when my dad was a kid and he went with my mum then. So maybe not, but maybe, you don't know, do you? It's a strange one. It sits with me thinking, that to me, I had magic powers when I was a kid, but, I don't know.
You never know, though, do you?
No.
So, yeah, I'll be interested. I might write a letter one day and just try and find out a bit more if I can.
Yes, you can get back to you.
Yeah.
My other
sorry, just quickly.
Yep.
Blue Shift's asking, have you ever dabbled in the occult?
No. I do look a bit gothic-y, but I don't. No, I wouldn't know how to.
Fair enough.
No. So, no, not for me. And certainly when I was 3 or 4, wouldn't known that existed. Wouldn't known, because you just take everything as it is, don't you? And you think, right, well, I've got magic, it's true. And there are monsters, and that's true.
Yep.
In terms of another experience I had, it was I'm a skeptic believer, so I sort of think that didn't happen. That wasn't, what you thought it was. I saw 2 orbs, and we used to live in a garrison town then, and it was very lively, and we were near the town. So you got sirens going off all the time, and it was busy because people always walking to from town, and it was firework night. I used to visit my parents late when my husband was away, worked away. So I come back about 10 o'clock. My children were young and asleep, so I had to carry them in, put them in the beds. And I looked out the window to shut the curtains, and I saw 2 orange orbs side by side that were exactly like street lights, but how they used to be before LED. So I looked at them and thought, I didn't realise those lights were there before, because I noticed straight away that didn't look like the street lights, and they were moving super slow, straight line up the road, sort of towards me. I had the car that I usually put in the garage, and I thought, well, I'll go and put them in the garage. By the time I've done that, I'll look up and I'll see where they are. They should be sort of getting closer to me then. But everything outside was silent. All the firework, the people walking around, there was no sound whatsoever.
No.
And by the time I stepped outside, I could see, there definitely were orbs moving forward. In my head, I thought, are they Chinese light, lanterns? But the air was still. There was no flickering. They were solid. The orange colour stayed the same. They stayed exactly the same distance in a dead straight course.
Yeah.
So I sort of thought, I'm not scared. I don't feel scared now, but I've got 2 little kids and I've got to put the car away. When they stood over the top of me, what are they going to do? Are they going to beam me up? I had those sort of rational thoughts with it, thinking I don't know what to do when they get, because they kind of come straight over the house. So I thought, right, I'm just going to put the car away, just carry on as normal. If they passed over, by the time I put the car away, I'll have a look out the back window and say where they're gone. So sure enough, they were halfway down the street by the time I did that. I looked up, didn't feel scared, still dead quiet outside. I couldn't believe, how quiet it was, because it's so rowdy in this town usually.
Yeah.
So I put the car away, shut the garage door, went back out, gone. I thought, they've gone quick. They were slowly creeping up enough for me to be upstairs, go down, open the garage door, pull a car in, and all of a sudden they're gone. So I did go up to the back window that we had, and it was quite woody out the back, and they were gone. So God knows where they went, but they were slow, on some sort of course. By the time I got out to have a look, they're gone. So that was strange, but I wrote it off to me as like, probably lanterns and firework night. I thought, do lanterns do that? I've seen videos. They flicker. They're different. They're not these round, solid, orby type things.
They move about in the breeze anyway, don't they? They don't follow like a straight course.
Like a balloon.
But I just thought it's typical. People will say when things like that happen or they experience something, it is dead quiet and like everything stops. And it was just like that. It was just calm and mild and everything outside. So, so that's always intrigued me a bit. And I did have a look back then on the internet. There was like a reporting site for, I think it was Hampshire, something like that. People did put they'd seen orbs and that, but it was back in the time when lots of people had Chinese lanterns and it got debunked for that. Yeah. And it's a bit like that now, isn't it? With lights, people say, it's drones. There's an answer for everything, depending what decade something happens in, isn't there? Exactly. So I thought, that was interesting. And people did say they'd seen them around there. The area in particular I was near was an airport. So there's always people debunking, saying it's aircraft and stuff. And so that's like for me personally. Back at the time when about the house I was talking about before, my dad's seen quite a few UFOs in that area. We were on a flight path as well to Heathrow there, but he's well into his aviation, and he knew when he saw things that they weren't. He saw one that was, like he said, looked like a train carriage, just like orangey lights going in like a carriage round. He said he was out once, and my mum witnessed it because she's one of these not interested type people, but she was out when he was clearing guttering or something on the roof, holding a ladder with my aunt, and they saw an aircraft fly over, and they were low because they used to turn. You used to see the Concorde and that.
Yeah.
And he saw a metal thing drop, and he thought the plane was going to crash. He thought a part had come off it, so it got everyone's attention, looking up, thinking, "What is this metal bit?" But it was like a metal ball that dropped and sort of hung around. So if you Google Bracknell, Berkshire, there's a lot of sightings. They've got like a sighting map over the years. But again, it's one of those areas that people say, oh, there's aircraft turning, you know, but if you live there long enough, you know what an aircraft looks like. But yeah. So yeah, that's quite interesting because none of us have had anything in terms of abductions or anything like that. There's things been whizzing around, but they all stop when we move away. That was only that time in our life in that area that those sort of things went on. So, yeah, so that's it for me, really. And my mum said she's seen a guardian angel, and like I said before, she's not into any of this stuff. She watches a bit of paranormal stuff on telly, but not interested when you talk alien or Dogman or whatever, Joe. So she said that she, as a kid, woke up and there was a full typical guardian angel at the bottom of her sister's bed. She said it looked just like you would expect, a glowing sort of human-like thing with wings. And she said she swears by that, and she's always stuck by it. And we always sort of said, you know, did you say us that as, you know, when we were believing in Santa and believing everything, did you tell us that, you know, to make us believe God or whatever? She said, no, that was my sister's guardian angel. And you think people see things like that, don't they, when it comes to sort of light beings or aliens, and the discussion of, are they seeing what they can interpret to be? Are they seeing it how they would, it will settle well with them to see it? So that's interesting, because everyone's had some sort of different experience in our family, but it's nothing recent. May well be soon, but they're also different as well. So yeah, be interesting what people think on that.
Yeah.
Right, we've got 2 more questions. Do you want to do them, Deb?
You're doing the questions.
Right, don't shout at me.
Spent all day going, I'm going to be doing the moderating.
I said I'll do the moderating. You've not said out all night, Moody.
Hey, I'm being good here.
Yeah. Right, so 2 more questions for Nicname.
Okay.
So, first one.
Rick, I ain't getting me tits out. I mean,
have you ever had out-of-body experience?
No. I haven't. Be interesting, but no.
Fair enough. And then that was from Alison. And
thank you, Alison.
From Rick again. Do you believe in reincarnation?
I do like Egyptology. I'm really into that. And yeah I do. Yeah.
You should talk to Kelly.
yeah, I am. I do believe in that. So yeah, I don't know if there's a question after that or if it was, but yeah.
Right. And then I've got one for the pair here, because I know Joe's not had a lot to say yet. I think it's a good thing so far.
Good.
You ready? So this is from Blue Shift. Do you differentiate
between,
I can say it just won't come out.
Differentiate
Between paranormal and supernatural.
I don't know enough about it, really. That's why I'm here. Yeah.
Supernatural in what way? I mean, paranormal spirits, isn't it? So
supernatural is like anything that we
not natural
can't do. Yeah.
Like spirits.
It's natural, accelerated, heightened naturalness, I would have said.
Like superhero.
Yeah, I don't know. Because when talking about like the house where I am, that could be paranormal. Somebody could have set that off. I love to think supernatural, but it's only happened once in my life and not won the lottery yet. So yeah.
Can I ask you that question, Deb? Sorry.
Good question.
The differentiate. Oh,
you can't say it.
I can't say it anymore. Is there a difference between paranormal and supernatural?
I can't now.
I honestly can't answer that.
Right.
I prefer supernatural to paranormal.
I do. I hate the word
Word.
paranormal.
As a word, yeah.
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 It's
Paranormal
just
sounds a bit.
ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Well, to me, they are very. If they're not the same thing, they're very similar.
Yeah.
Supernatural is like it's same thing. Stuff that happens that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
Things you can see that you shouldn't be able. Like stuff shouldn't exist, but it
Yeah.
does.
Mm.
And paranormal is like.
Sorry,
Right, I'd say right. You sure you're not in Blackpool or Vegas?
I am really, yeah. No, I'm sat in a pub waiting to go out dogging.
have you got your fanny pack ready, Annie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think, Joe?
I think Supernatural's got 2 fit bloody guys in it for a start.
Oh,
Josephine.
I've never watched it.
No,
I started watching it. I couldn't get into it.
Mine's more spiritual than anything.
Mm.
So I wouldn't class it as paranormal.
Yeah.
Paranormal, I don't like the word.
No.
So supernatural if you didn't like the spirits.
Well, that's why I call it the unknown, because it is unknown.
Everything.
Yeah. That covers it all.
Yeah.
What was your earliest experience, Joe?
Eh?
What was
My
your earliest experience?
Go, Joe.
Bloody hell. I'm too old to remember that far.
Is it not in the Bible?
It was. They removed it. It was too bad. Too much info.
Sorry.
Oh no, I've always had an affinity with animals ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Wolves especially. And Native Americans, weirdly.
Yeah.
At 3-year-old, I used to sit there and cry when the Indians got killed, and my dad used to tell me off. You don't cry for them, you cry for the white man. Like, no.
Oh.
Yeah. But I was brought up rescuing animals, so I have total affinity, and I can get near most animals that other people can't. Like, you wouldn't believe the animals that's come through my house, you really wouldn't. But for instance, I had a horse that I was looking after. Well, the owner was away, and he had a cut fetlock. It was split, so you had to scrape. Sorry, but
Yeah.
you had to scrape the scab off and respray it. Yeah, and yet I was at home one night, and it was like I woke up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, whoa! And I knew he needed me, and when I went up there, he got all caught up.
Right.
And I can't explain it, but a lot of things have happened that way with animals. My kids have both talked to spirits. I've talked to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot is to do with animals.
Yeah.
Sorry to be a pain, people, but it is.
No, you're all right. It's that's your thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Some people have an affinity with spirit children, don't they? And
it's people as well. I tend to attract, God, for the longest time, even people from across the world. I attract people that start talking to me and become friends when they've got a serious, like, guy I spoke to in America. When I first went on camping, he was orange. He drank that much vodka. He's an alcoholic. He drank that much vodka. His skin was actually turning orange. And he swears that if he hadn't started talking to me, he would have been dead.
Right.
And I've got a lot of that.
So some sort of magnetism.
Saviour.
Plus 6 cents. I've got 6 cents.
Right, we've got a couple of questions for you, Joe.
No, I ain't getting my tats out.
Well, Rick wants to know if you got any tattoos.
Yeah, 17.
Wow.
There we go. And she'll send you all the pictures individually.
He's never asked me that question.
Best one.
Oh, me?
It's the best one.
Yeah.
See? I can't get no closer, Andy, because of the bloody table.
Yeah, I see it.
Zoom in.
It's a Dogman.
Yeah, I can see it. I was trying to work out which way around it went.
But he used to have a red eye. I had one of those things stuck in, the crystal.
Thermals.
Yeah, but it went under my skin. It's lost somewhere. It'll come out one day. Somewhere.
Oh, nice.
Next one. Steve wants to know, are you going to talk about your Dogman encounter?
The Dogman encounters I could talk about, Debbie and Andy will ban me, so no. Mine got 4. Oh no, they got 4 legs as well, haven't they?
Yeah. Sometimes they have.
That's what they call bipedos.
Yeah, see? No, I haven't. I'd love to. Like I said, I've had absolutely nothing that way, cryptid-wise, at all. Whatever. Never. Not
Right.
that I know of.
Kelly said your experience was in black and white. Sorry.
Huh?
Kelly said your experience was in black and white.
What experience?
I'm guessing it was that long ago. It was before colour.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I got paw prints all down my back. I got Rainbow Bridge at the top, number 1 bitch at the bottom, a tigger on each shoulder, and the one on my boob.
And we'll stop there.
Probably not finished yet, are you, Joe?
Yeah, I ran out of money.
Surely
Well,
got them. Surely had all them done last week.
Yeah, just for your show.
Yeah. Making the tattoo. The last one I had was when I was 50. So I'll stop now.
Yeah. So, Alison wants to know, what's your most memorable experience?
My dad coming to see me after he died.
Yeah.
The day he died. Want me to tell you?
Yes, please.
Yeah. If you want to share it.
I don't mind. I'll try not to cry. But like, my dad had emphysema and asbestosis. The emphysema stemmed from the asbestosis. So, like, from 64, he was on a nebulizer and that.
Yeah.
So, like, he was up the hospital and back the amount of times he stopped breathing and that. And the last time he went up, with my brothers and that, we just all went up there every time. And I was with my mum and she was seeing my dad into where they take him. And they were going to try to paddle him. And my dad's going, don't let him, don't let him, don't let him. And so we let him go that day. Obviously heartbreaking. Never liked hospital since. But so that night, when I finally get home, I come home. And as you can imagine, you've cried so much, you're just exhausted. And sort of crashed out into sleep. And I still, to this day, don't know whether I was dreaming or not. But I felt the bed move. And I opened my eyes like, oh shit, you know. But when I peeped, it was my dad there, and he's just saying, I'm okay, Joe, just want to let you know. And he went.
Yeah.
So the next day, I said to my brother, Terry, I said, guess what happened to me last night? He said, don't tell me Dad visited you as well. And that was it. I nearly passed out. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me that one.
Yeah, that's the most memorable. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Another couple of questions for you, Joe.
Go on then.
This is from Rick Allen. What would you like to experience? Well, I think we all know that one.
Apart from the obvious.
That's a stupid question. I don't even know why I got that out. Not you, Rick, but for me.
Oh man, obviously.
Yeah.
Other than that, on my bucket list is swimming with great white sharks and meeting wolves in the sanctuary. Okay.
Yeah. Right. This next one. Now, I've not heard of this before, so I'm going to have to give it to you three. Blue Shift wants to know: have you tried neuro-linguistic programming?
Don't even know what it is.
I know all the neuro is going to be something to do with the brain, and then linguistic is speech.
Yeah. I did a course on it years ago at work, and I didn't like it. It was more like brainwashing to me.
Oh.
Like MK Ultra.
Basically, what you had to do was, say, like if you wanted to go on a diet, you wanted to stop eating cake, you had to replace the picture of the cake in your mind with a picture of something you didn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and change your way of thinking about stuff, and I didn't like it.
I know they do that with people that are trying to quit smoking.
Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it?
It's just a different way of like looking at things and whatever. But I found it a bit brainwashy to me. Didn't like it.
Reprogramming, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, hypnotic regression.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to get it wrong as usual. I'll have a doubt for getting stuff wrong.
Yeah.
I'd like to be regressed.
I've got to sign up for my course yet. That's my next step after advanced hypnotherapy.
We'll all wait for Deborah to do a course, and then we'll just power around her house on
Okay,
Saturday.
Yeah. I'm up.
One in the front, one out the back.
Yeah.
Because some of the things that I've had happened to me, I'm not sure if it was real or not. So I'd like to find out what is and what isn't.
Well, I could have passed my dad off too. If it hadn't been my brother hadn't said that, I would have most probably passed my dad off. I was missing him. I was so tired. But when he said that, it just floored me.
It confirmed it, yeah.
Doesn't that come under like lucid dreaming though?
It would have done if he hadn't confirmed it. But obviously, my dad was there because he went to see him as well.
Yeah.
I didn't bother with the other brothers.
I think lucid dreaming, you know you're asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of control what's going on. But they say when you do that, you're on the thing of it being real and not real, and you can't quite work out what is and what isn't.
I've woken up like that, haven't you?
Yeah, I did last night.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? It is weird.
Well, this morning, I should say. But...
Sorry, I'm going to have to sort my chair out. I'm really uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're all right. Well, I've got another question for Joe anyway from best mate Kelly. Where would you spend a night researching on your own or alone?
Have a guess, Kelly. You should know this. Have a guess. Oh, I'll have a guess.
Poundland.
Cannock.
Would you not do New Forest?
I was just going to say Cannock Chase.
I'd do the New Forest, but where I've always wanted to go was Cannock.
Yeah.
Because it's got a bit of everything there, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, Ruby, I haven't seen the Dogman. Sorry.
Yet. We'd know about it if she had.
Oh, it'd be all over the news. Boris would be going on about it.
Prime Minister's questions.
No, I'd keep him. I'd say, oh, sorry, you're not going home. You can come and join my pack.
Yeah.
I nearly seen Black Panther today.
Did you?
You see a Black Panther.
Seriously, I was on the phone with Becky and driving down, like through all these villages.
Yeah, nearly.
Suffolk, and there was seen this big black, looked like a big black cat running across this field. I was proper super excited. As I got closer, I realised it was a dog. I seen the woman whose dog it was. The car was parked in the field, but it was behind the trees. So the angle I was coming down, I didn't see her till I got nearer. So as this dog was running away from my side of the road, it then turned around to come back and seen its face and was not impressed one bit. I was ready for driving in. I was ready for driving into a field and taking photos.
Yeah, because you weren't living across the field in a van, wouldn't have scared it off, would it?
Bricks, but how can you nearly see something like that?
There's your near miss encounter there, Andy.
Yeah.
It's more not bad.
Proper gutted. So annoyed. Worst day of my life, I'm telling you.
And then he rang me and said, guess what I nearly saw?
I don't know nothing strange in there. Sorry.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Right. Umbra man thinks he's funny, but he's not. Other than me, what is the strangest encounter you've ever had, Joe? I can go off people, you know.
Yeah.
Finding my nan's grave in a cemetery where no one knew where the graveyard was, I suppose.
Wow.
Ooh.
See,
how did that happen?
Wow. Where I used to live, we used to have to walk through the big graveyard to get to my nan's.
Right.
So, like, my real nan died when my mum was 12. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at that. Carry on.
I don't care. I didn't know her, did I, at 12?
No.
12. But anyway, as we're walking through there, we're just talking about family plots, you know, as you do, because there's some are really old and some are sunken. And
yeah,
I said to our mum, where's your mum buried then? She said she wasn't never allowed to go to the funeral or nothing back then. So she had no idea. And I just started walking off. She said, where are you going? I said, hold on, I've got to go over here. And I walked about 500 yards and I said, come here, Mum. And like this grave sunk and it's got all green. Do you know where the green grows all over it? And I got down, I scrubbed it off, and honest to God, I've gone all spooky now thinking about it. That was my nan's grave. My mum didn't even know where it was, but something.
Really?
Yeah, really. So mine's all that sort of thing, as if I'm drawn to something.
Yeah.
Intuition.
And it was my nan's. I mean, my mum didn't even know where else. So how the bloody hell did I know? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
It's funny you should say that. Just quickly, it's on the video what we did last night. We was in one of the cemeteries, and someone got drawn to this grave, and without them even seeing the date on it, they knew the day and the month that person died.
It's really weird, isn't it? I get things like that.
Like, wow, you'll see it in the video. So obviously, I'm not going to tell you because then you won't watch it.
Well, Joe, you're going to help us find our keys and that now then.
Yeah, Joe can be our human pendulum.
Yeah.
I can do pendulums.
I've got a question for you, Joe, because you touched on spirit talk. Can you tell me how that works? Is it voices in your head, or is it you talking? How does that go?
It's like I've heard it a couple of times. Like I've heard somebody call me, like my mum, and I know it can't be mum because she's not here. But normally it's more a feeling. I get pulled towards something, and then I get a thought. So not as we're speaking now. It's like in your head, isn't it? But
yeah.
Whose voice is it? Is it your own voice, or is it somebody else's?
No, it was when I met my nan. It was a woman. I obviously didn't know her bloody voice.
Yeah.
But it was just I just kept hearing this way, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I didn't have no kids then. I was only young.
Yeah.
And my mum's going, where are you going? I'm going, I've got to go this way. And found that, and it freaked me out. Hence, it's taken me like 40 years before I even started looking into anything like that.
Yeah. So you've always had it going on?
Yeah, but everybody back then think, you're bloody nutty, ain't you? Well, I'm nutty anyway, but there you go.
And could you ever foresee anything happen before it happened, or did you ever say to
Deja vu I've had a lot, but I think everybody gets that. I went on holiday when I was 18. I went down on my first holiday. I was allowed with my boyfriend, and we went down to St. Ives.
Oh
yeah, it's my favourite place there. And the day we went round into the village, you know, the old village, and I knew where everything was, and it was really doing my head in. And we went up this little back street, and I said, there's a little shop up here with a lady in it. And he's going, you don't know that. It's half sort of thing, you know. So it goes like this little lane, and there's two shops, right? One's been made into a house, and the one next door got an old lady in it. And I walked in, and I said, oh, I thought there was another shop next door to yours. She said, Christ, that was when I was a kid. I ain't been there for years. I'm like, oh, here we go again. Things like that. So I really do think I lived in St. Ives somewhere in the past. That's why I want to be regressed. I really believe that because I knew so much about the bloody area.
Yeah.
It's so much. It freaks you out because you're like, don't understand it back then. You had no one to talk to you back then, did you?
Well, I did because when I was a kid, my great aunt was clairvoyant, so it was sort of.
My mum, when I found that grave, my mum went white. I thought I was going to have to pick her up.
Yeah, she did, yeah.
And she was like this all the way up the road, and she just said that's really, really weird.
Yeah.
And other things have happened since, so. But that's the first one that I remember being that big.
Yeah.
Because obviously my dad come a lot after.
Well, Alison said, lovely to see you both.
Hi, Alison.
I think she means being Andy.
Oh, I was going to say that.
Beat you to it.
Yeah.
I've seen an interesting question from Blue Shift.
Yeah, I'm just going to pop it up now.
If you'd like to pop it up.
Wrong one.
That one.
That one.
No.
Would you know?
It was Hogwarts.
Hogwarts, yeah.
I'm curious.
I go at the drop of a hat because I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, but you won't know what's going on until you get to 33rd degree of masonry. Freemasonry, not really.
Masonry, you got to build a wall before you can get in.
That's when you get your special chisel.
In Masons were the Templars,
and your plumb line.
He nearly did. He nearly did.
Oh,
It's a nearly
No.
night tonight, Andy.
yeah, nearly.
I'm curious. I'm interested, but no.
I'd love to know what's going on there, like Bohemian Grove and all that kind of stuff. Is that slightly different than normal Freemasons?
It's all very creepy.
If somebody comes against me, Warren, I'll go. But other than that, you can all bog off.
Send an helicopter for Joe. She's off.
Yeah. I've got a little remote control on that girl.
Yeah, why?
That was a stupid bloody conversation at all.
Oh, Deborah, that's the wire that I was on about.
Yeah, but the conversation didn't start like that.
No. We'll believe
said,
that.
I've got my dictaphone. It takes 2 little batteries. I've got a remote control helicopter. I'm like, what else has that got to do with anything?
Basically, that wire charges it rather than using batteries.
I didn't know what was going on in Andy's mind, so that conversation just fell flat.
I didn't know what was going on.
Tape it onto the helicopter.
Yeah. Hey,
Fly it
Joe.
round to get everybody's opinions.
No, fly Joe round on the. Take Joe to the helicopter.
Oh dear.
Anyway, thank you, Amber, for being gentle with me. I said you be bloody gentle with me. It's my birthday. I'm a cam virgin, mate. You just be nice.
Wow.
You're doing very well, Joe. I can't believe it's your first time.
Everyone's at home now going, she's a liar.
I don't give a shit.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I should put my name in Marmite. You love me or you hate me, and I don't really give a toss which one. There you go.
Oh, dear. I keep seeing random sentences in the chat and I don't look
I'm
through
like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Oh, Umbra Man, come on.
I feel like you've got a little chopper.
Yeah, that's the one I saw and I thought I'm not even going there. Umbra Man's got some insight into the Freemasons. I'd like to know about that, please.
Ooh, yes, please. You've got our email if you don't want to share it.
Yeah, if you don't want to share it on here, obviously.
Then we'll share it. No, we won't. Oh, right. Should we do a quick break? Quick 2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll have a quick break. Me and Joe can have a fag.
Right, Joe's not had one anyway.
Hey?
It's a joint.
Right, Joe's not just had one anyway. Not held back much, has she, really?
I haven't.
Right.
I've had it rolled.
Right,
Ready,
back
She's
in
already.
two. Back in two.
Back in two.
Boom. But I've just decided, Rick, Kelly, and 90% of everyone else in the chat are not funny.
I think they are.
So
No, definitely not. Oh, right.
That's why YouTube.
I nearly got asked.
I'm back
No,
now.
I keep getting messages about joining the Illuminati.
So do I, but I just keep deleting them.
Oh no, I humour them for a bit and I go, nah, I can't be bothered.
Wait till they've given you all the spiel.
Wait until they do like 10 paragraphs deep and go, nah, delete.
Don't like that.
So,
I've grabbed myself a gin glass with a Bailey's in.
nice.
Oh,
Too
I
late.
did mine up, but you can't see it, can you?
Cheers.
I did up to what? Right, sorry, I'm just reading the chat.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to catch up.
Oh dear. All that hilarity, I need to sleep now.
Oh. Right, Joe's gone off for one. That's just a pre-record. Yeah, even there. Hologram and a tape recording.
Yeah.
When I turn the cam back on, you see a Dogman say, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, talking of Dogman, I've got to find a bit more out about this story. Well, encounter. I say story, I don't mean story. These are what
Is this the
people
one
have told
from
me.
earlier? The phone call?
No, I'm going to find more about that one.
Right.
I've got to speak to my uncle about this because this got to be back in the 60s, 70s. There used to be a lover's lane spot that people used to go on the dates. Don't mention what you normally do in the chat, guys. And there was something, a Bigfoot or Dogman or something like that, that come out and started bashing up the car within a minute. So I've got to find out more about that because that's from my dad and that's his brother that told him that. It didn't happen to his brother, but I thought that's interesting because that's somewhere down south.
Yeah.
So I need to find out a bit more about where that was. But apparently they were just in the car, sat dating, whatever, and something come out and just started bashing up the car. But it was a big thing. This wasn't a person.
Yeah.
So I thought, or maybe it's someone dressed up that knew people were hanging out there and, you know, did it deliberately. So that's something for me to find out, but it's not recent. But if I can find out where, then I can look back and Eric. I can find. I'll find out because I know Deb Hatswell has a map, doesn't she, around the country and stuff. So if I can find out a bit more, then I can dig back a bit and see if it happened to other people. Because that was a bit interesting around. And I think you know if it was someone dressed up, if they're bashing up your car.
Oh, yeah.
You know, or they're really strong or whatever. But the fact it didn't look like a person. So I'll find out. I'll tell you where it is, Joe. And you can camp out there. Because it could be down south somewhere.
Okay, I don't care.
So, yeah, that's an interesting story. I don't know if anyone's got any southern Dogman cryptid things, because don't hear a lot about them, but you do hear about big cats, Gloucestershire and Devon and that, don't you? But I'm not too far from Salisbury Plain. Not heard anything round here for me, but I'm close enough to areas like that you would think I would see things like that. Maybe I need to get out and about. Maybe I need to drive into fields chasing dogs more, Andy.
Exactly. Well, if you don't do it, you're not going to say anything, are you?
You mean the nearly big cat?
The nearly big cat. I don't know how he's going to try and take a photo at the same time, though. I'm not. I can just.
It was its mate, dog. Big dog.
Yeah. You'll never guess what I nearly saw.
Shut up.
Yeah.
The same as what I nearly saw.
Blank screens.
Oh dear.
Deb Hatswell's he's got a write up from my son. It's on the map as well. When my son was young, and he thought that they saw something. So that's on there.
Yeah.
He was only a youngster. You don't want that story, do you?
Yes, we do. If you wouldn't mind sharing,
Well, we don't want to know where you went shopping yesterday. We want to know about unknown trips.
When I lived with a woman for the 11 years I did, she had guard dogs, proper guard dogs. They were carded, you know. They they were the real thing. They had to wear cards around their neck and that.
Right.
And she used to walk them late at night after work. So she took my nipper down with Mill, and they were going through there, and they saw something in the distance, and they're like, "What the hell's that?" Because you were talking about 1 o'clock in the morning. It's over 1 o'clock in the morning, and the dogs run out after it. 2 seconds later, the dogs come back screaming, and they wouldn't go forward no more. And so they didn't actually see anything, but it's enough to shit those 2 dogs up, and they were big dogs. I had the early lady supermodel last night.
Oh.
He's going to get a slap.
No,
he'd like that.
Hey, Amber's being good, look.
Oh, look. Joe starts every story with during the war.
During the war?
Oh, as Uncle Albert used to say.
During
when I was a nipper.
I used to run along the fences, giving them tea and coffee. What are you on about?
Sorry, go on. You said about the 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And they come running back scared.
Yeah, and that was that.
Oh, did they not know what was seen, or did not hear anything?
They just saw a shape in the distance. The dogs ran after it.
Yeah.
Just as they were sort of getting out of eyesight, distance away. You heard the yelp, and they both come running back. And now those dogs have dragged me all around the bloody park because they're trained to do it, and she used to think it was funny.
Yeah.
And one of them broke his teeth stopping a moped with his teeth. But honest to God, but they were scared. Nothing scared those dogs.
Did no one hear any noises? Any growling or anything like that?
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. There's no one going to be in the golf course that time in the morning. But
they know. Like it's standing up like shape.
Yeah.
Or just when you mentioned the shape, Joe, was it something standing up? Did they say it was something big, or just something low on the ground?
The only thing, Scott shit himself, obviously. They both come back as white as sheets, and the dogs were shaking. But the only thing they saw was like they said, because Scott was only short then, he's 6'5" now. They said it's a big shape they saw off in the distance, on 2 legs, off in the distance. But down that way, there's loads and loads. You've got the fisheries and all, so there's loads of countryside down there.
What area was that?
Southampton, Woodmill.
Yep.
It's on Debbie H's map.
Oh, right, okay. I'll log up on there then.
Well, if it's from a distance and look big, it must have been huge close up then.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know because I wasn't there, but I'm only saying that's the story told to me.
So the dogs took off like, I'm going to have that, and then
they ran back to the car. Yeah, they took off because they see they run. They're trained to in their job. So they went bombing off, and you're talking about 2 dirty, great big German shepherds, not the normal size. These were big.
Yeah.
They went running off like they normally do. One yelped, and they both come bombing back. They ran past Sandy and my son, and were outside the car waiting again.
Wow.
So
for guard type dogs, that's quite scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly, God, they were bloody big German shepherds as well. Really big.
Yeah.
Right. I've got a question for Nicname. What would be your most wanted, like the encounter that you'd want more than anything?
Not sure. Want. I don't want something that's going to make me ill for the rest of my life.
Well, no.
So want to be tame, really.
The most fascinating thing that you think you could experience.
So what got me into the subject was UFOs and Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
So if you to ask me where I'd like to go, it would be somewhere like S4 or somewhere secret that, not on a map yet. So it probably would be more aerial, maybe a bit more like the Penturch sort of thing.
Yeah.
Something, like that. That's, it's undeniable. Because if I saw an object in the sky flashing, I'd be like, oh, might be a new aircraft. Probably is your drone. I need to see it and know it's definite. And I don't want anything that doesn't have an impact on me that frightens me for the rest of my life to go out. I want, but I do want that verification, just
Get
you know,
this-
and
get
other
this
people
detail.
to witness it. I don't want to be, you know, so probably something like that.
I didn't mention Bob Kelly. Nick did. Get told off.
Oops. No, I that's got me interested. I know it's controversial, as everything is, and
Oh yeah.
but, I believe it's true. I believe him. And you've got to think, you know, things he was talking about. Can you imagine what technology's out there now? Because if you had crash retrievers in the 40s, we got your slipper ready.
No, in Deb in the chat.
Yeah,
Deborah.
that'd be it for me.
Sorry. Deborah, what would be yours? I've never asked you.
What would be my what?
Your most wanting encounter.
Do you know what? I don't know.
Out of everything
Not you,
out of everything that you've encountered already, disregarding them, you have to choose something else.
You've had a lot, Deb.
I
Read
know,
your books.
Oh, did you?
So have I.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a lot going on in there. I think I've covered most of it actually.
Yeah.
I suppose Dogman, but I'm still not 100%.
Dogman or the Meg?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's got to
I
exist.
think if you remove the fear, we could have a different answer here.
Yeah, definitely.
Without the fear, then probably
Oh yeah, all right then. Without the fear, you could
entity,
encounter it without
all of it without the fear.
Yeah.
So if you could encounter something and you could have first-hand communication with whatever it is, what would be your go-to thing?
Dogman, yeah.
Dogman.
That, yeah. Or an entity, yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
what would yours be, Andy?
Yeah, yours, Andy. The near miss.
A gnome.
A nearly panther.
No, I would nearly want to see a Black Panther. Oh wait, it did.
No, it was a Labrador.
I don't even know what sort of dog it was. It was a panther dog. A Mothman. It'd have to be Mothman.
Oh, Mothman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what would you not want to encounter?
I think mine.
Demon.
Who?
A demon.
Oh, well, I might have already, and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's certainly possessed sometimes.
No, I think Black Eyed Kids.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be like bottom of the list of what I meet.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the easiest way to see a Mothman. Live in a lighthouse. They've got big eyes at the top.
Oh, God. Joe, we said no dad jokes.
Can you imagine at Flamborough Head, we're all gathering outside? Turn off the light.
I like the little wings, Deb. Do it again.
I can do devil horns as well.
Oh, yeah? Got about them.
Hello.
Very talented. Very talented.
I'm going to go for Men in Black, Umbra Man, or Women in Black, because nobody knows what they are, do they? Are they... Back in the day, when you look at the counters people had in the 40s, or Project Blue Book sort of era, it sounded like it was actual people that worked for government or whatever. But the more recent ones, if you like, you know, what Paul Sinclair mentions in his book, they don't look like humans, do they? People, you know, and they come out of nowhere.
No eyebrows.
Yeah, I think if one of them comes along, then I'm in trouble. They're watching me, or I'm being watched. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to encounter that. And I'm fascinated by them because they're triggered by when somebody's seen something they shouldn't have, if you like. But the fact that they don't look human anymore, that's fascinating. But I don't want to see one.
Umbra's just put. So I think there are multiple types of MIB, and I think there are. I think there are human type and non-human.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Joe?
I wouldn't want to see the black-eyed kids. That'll freak me out.
Yeah.
Because they're kids, and I just find that really scary.
Have you noticed though? There's like spurts of reports. There's like a load of reports and then nothing for ages, and then you'll get another load of reports and nothing. It's just a bit weird. I wonder what it coincides with.
Two little kids knocking on my door, black eyes, I believe.
Yeah.
Let the dogs out. You let the dogs out.
But if you think of all the people that don't know about them, that would think that kids were in distress and let them in.
Especially older people.
Yeah.
They're like, come on in, my loves,
Yeah.
Let's
get your mum and dad room.
The thing is, though, with these black-eyed kids, the ones that have invited them in, they've always ended up with. I'm ignoring them now. They've always ended up with some sort of illness.
Yes.
That's either killed them or hospitalised them.
They're the things that I don't like. So
no. Wasn't that somebody that got leukemia or something?
Yeah, there's an old couple. They both. That was in I don't know whereabouts, somewhere in America. They let them in to use the phone and go to the bathroom or something. Then a car came, pulled up outside, and they walked out. They didn't see who was driving the car. It was like a big blacked out windows, whatever. And then over the next few days, he started throwing up and being ill and what have you. One of it ended up going to hospital with leukemia.
Yeah.
I think they died, and the other one became ill, but managed to.
It's just the whole thing. It's the kids part that gets me. If they were adults, when they're little kids, your mind's saying, help them.
Yeah.
And the other part of you saying, what the hell? So.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that before, yeah.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah. Because that makes sense. But I've also heard lately on there's a couple of different videos, I think it's on YouTube, that they could be lizard people or reptilians.
Right.
The black-eyed kids. I don't know how. It didn't really make sense to what the guy was saying. I just wondered if anyone else knows what.
I don't think they're lizard people.
I've not heard that.
No, it's just
not really heard of lizard kids at all. Actually,
no. But then
that's as bad as the royals being lizards.
No, but the thing is, if there are reptilians, or I say if there are reptilians. Surely they must grow like we would, or like lizards would. You must get the young.
Oh yeah, of course you would.
Version of them.
Like most lizards lay eggs.
Yeah, well, then why? Surely we'd see the young ones, not just the adult version.
Yeah, most lizards lay eggs, so that'd be strange, wouldn't they? Come across like eggs, like they're ostrich eggs.
I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, how do we know they don't?
We don't. That's the thing. How do they know that the so-called dinosaurs that didn't really exist, their eggs? How do you know they wasn't like lizard people eggs?
Well, that's it. Yeah, Rick's just put the black-eyed kids have the same solid black eyes as the greys do.
Yeah, they do actually.
Now, I seen something. There's another thing I was watching the other week. I don't know how real it was, but there was peeling the black off the greys, and you could see the underneath, and it was like what the grey was underneath it is more like ET, and it's like wearing the head. What you see is like a helmet, and they're inside that.
Could well be.
So it was like I'll tell you what it was on. It was on TikTok, and it was like but it's like people put video like. It weren't a video that's someone dancing and then peeling the eye off. But it was it's like the black on that, and they peeled that off. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be weird.
And then it's just a normal eye inside.
That'd be really weird. Like Alice said, you had all those eggs in the Alien films, didn't you?
Yeah.
So it could be hybrids if you're going down the grey children route thing.
And in Cocoon.
Yeah. They were bloody big eggs, weren't they? They were.
Yeah, they were big eggs.
Yeah. An invasion of the body snatchers.
And yeah, I was going to say body snatchers. They did.
God, I haven't seen that for years.
No, it freaked me out when they put that human head on the dog. I couldn't watch it no more.
No,
I'm like,
I don't like something like that. No.
Anyway, I'll just stick them in with the other lizard, wouldn't I? Might have to sort of make it a bit bigger. But I say, yeah, get in there. You got to eat pad and that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. So that's what I was saying. So that black thing, what they peel off, apparently tested it, and it's like the way sunglasses work. It's like it's UV protection for their eyes. Don't know how true it is, but
I've not really researched
it would make sense.
Both thing a lot.
When you look into like crash retrieval side of life, they do say like infrared, night vision, that sort of thing come from the lenses of bodies that they so
alien race.
Yeah, basically, if that's what they are, then that's what they are.
I was going to ask you a question, Andy, about your Shadow Man one that you were. Did you have your an answer to that last week? A Shadow Man remote viewers.
No,
are you still working on that one?
No, that was my question to everyone else. I don't have an answer for that. I just wanted to know what everyone's thoughts and ideas and theories were on it. But it kind of makes sense. If you're remote viewing and you're somewhere watching someone, surely there'd be a version of yourself in the area, like a projection.
Perhaps that's what ghosts are.
Maybe.
So I don't know. It's very strange.
I was going to ask Joe because he was talking spirit talk. Do you see spirits? Do you see things, or is it just voices? Yeah. And the same for Deb as well, because you're
obviously my dad.
Have that ability.
My dad, I've seen my pets that I've lost. Even when I lived with my mum and dad, when we lost our Springer Spaniel, me and my mum was in the kitchen making a cup of tea, and we could both hear him scratching at the door. And when we opened the door, he was there, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
So,
do they look solid or do they look transparent?
Half and half, if you know what I mean. You couldn't easily see through him, but you could see through him.
Yeah, you knew he wasn't solid.
Yeah, not like glass. You know, it wasn't clear like glass. It was just like fatty, but you could see through him.
Yeah.
Same with my dog. He sits at the top of the bloody stairs, doesn't he? And he's been gone for 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Honest to God, I come up the stairs some nights and I rub his head like I used to because I see him and I just naturally go, like, there's nothing there. Like, all right, then.
Strange.
It is.
Right, we've got 10 minutes to go. So, got another question from Kelly to both Nicname and Joe. Have you dabbled with Ouija boards?
I haven't. I haven't. My brothers did. I haven't.
No, I know people who do, but I don't think they know how to do it properly, if you like, because I've spoke to someone that said that they had the taps and doors shutting in their house, and again, this house wasn't an old one. And I said, have you ever done Ouija board? She said, yeah, loads of times, like drunk and stuff. I said, well, I think you're supposed to close them down after. I don't know the ins and outs, but she said, no, we got too drunk or tired or scared or whatever. So she did get someone to come and cleanse the house, and she said it stopped. She said it worked. You know, I got someone to come round and read the Bible and that. But no, because you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, you have. I've done a Ouija board, but we did it properly, opened and closed it properly with protection and everything.
My brother,
it's absolutely fine.
My brother's
never done one.
I'm curious.
I'd like to watch, but I wouldn't because I don't know what I'm doing.
No, me neither. So,
no.
Well, I'll leave that
out kids' toys, which makes me wonder what's going on.
Was it Hasbro that brought it out?
I think it was Hasbro or the other one. Oh dear, not Waddington's. There's another toy maker, American toy maker.
Yeah, but you have to prove that it worked. before they'd buy it, and he did. The guy who designed it, I can't remember his name.
Scary though that they can put things like that out as kids' toys.
Yeah, that's just weird, isn't it? Why would you do that?
Very. But it was like early 1900s, wasn't it? Like 1910, 1920 or something. Probably earlier than that.
Was it during the war?
You'd know that, Joe. Was it black and white?
During the war?
I was too busy.
During the war, when I built my Ouija board and tried selling it on the market.
It does make you wonder on that, though, how many of these paranormal, if you like, or supernatural are from people that have done that over the years.
Yeah, and let something out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've often wondered that.
Well, they reckon that by leaving them open, it creates portals.
So,
yeah,
I've heard that. Yeah.
You can do it with cut out bits of paper, write the alphabet on it and everything. It doesn't have to be an actual board.
Yeah. I was going to buy one. I was going to buy one and just stick it on the wall.
Don't. My brother's done it when they were meant to be babysitting me. They weren't meant to be doing things like that. And they done it, and they was all like teenagers then, you know, had their mates in and all. I meant to be up in bed, and I wasn't in bed because they always used to just forget about me. Bleeding glass went poof, straight up in the air and smashed. They went. Everyone left. And I was just there, like 7 years old, thinking, Mom!
That answers a lot of questions about Joe.
I warned everybody I'm totally mad. I don't care.
You didn't warn me.
I did. How did I say to you when you said don't swear? I won't say how I said it, but there you go.
No.
Something
about see you next Tuesday was all I heard. Right. Last few minutes. Anyone got anything?
Are you stopping at 9:30 then?
Stopping 20 past.
Oh, that's boring.
We've got another 2 today, and I'm pre-record tomorrow.
No,
it's a busy week.
Oh, it's on till 10. Oh my God, not coming on here again.
All right, you're not getting invited.
They're sparking mad, Kelly. I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Andy so that we know whether it's worth watching Friday night. Does his equipment work? Have you tested it? Does it?
Right.
That's a bit
dictaphone work.
Don't ask him that. Oh, you on about them? Oh, sorry.
That's his new phone.
There you go. Hello. Radiation hotline.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to speak to Joe? Something about dogging? Yeah, so you can see the numbers going up.
I've got my dogs here, thank you. They're all asleep.
Yeah, so that works. 90% of our equipment's charged up. The rest will be done tomorrow.
Yes, I'm not on that.
Oh, that was it. Right, it's changed from 10 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Due to the person whose house it is going to be there earlier. So we're going to get there for about 8 o'clock and get set up. So there's going to be a camera in the room and then the dictaphone. And then I'm going to be sat in the corner. Got a couple of spears.
Baubles.
Yeah. I avoided using that word, Joe.
Is that Andy?
Marbles. You
Yeah,
should
so
be lost in
knew
marbles.
what that was.
Yeah. It's a bouncy ball.
Mystic Meg in it.
Yeah.
Only by Becky.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, we've got a bit of a story about that, haven't we?
What?
When we mention a certain person while we're talking on the phone.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I can hear the background noise of Andy's van. I can hear the other traffic. He's talking and I can't hear his voice. And it's only this particular person that we talk about, who everybody knows. Yeah. He's got 5 books out. But we have to call him Clive now.
Yeah.
Because if we mention him by his proper name, we get really weird phone calls.
Does it begin with a P and end with an L?
Yeah. And and a lot of the calls that I make is not clicking, but there's like a mechanical noise in the background.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was reading what Andrew said.
Very weird.
Very strange. So I think some of them are monitored. I don't really, in phone calls, I don't really give anything away. I'm just not looking at the chat. You're all N-heads.
Read it, Deb. That's what I was reading.
He's an asshole. Ignore him.
That's funny though.
It's not. Don't encourage him. That's my cousin. Ignore him.
Guess what I nearly saw?
Oh, you'll nearly see something in a minute.
Oh no. Not before 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So it's at 9 o'clock. It's 9 till 11 instead of 10 till 12.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get him. Get set up. There's going to be 4 of us, 2 upstairs, 2 down. Hopefully 1 in each room where the activity has been taking place.
Yeah.
We're going to have cameras set up. There's going to be a camera and the dictaphone constantly recording. Both in the same room for the first hour. They're going to swap them round and put them into another room in the second part. And then we're going to swap. What is going on here? Am I in some alternate reality?
Yeah.
This has never happened before.
I'm a bad influence.
3 girls against 1 bloke. It's just, that's how it happens.
Yeah, you were asking for it, Andy.
Yeah. Them. Is that any good?
Fair dues. Yeah, swing them, baby.
Yeah. So that's that's Friday started. Then Sunday is the premiere of last night.
Premiere.
So that basically, it was a family that witnessed a little boy in the Victorian clothing. We met up with them. We walked around that churchyard, but there's that intrigued about Kingsthorpe Cemetery that we went over to Kingsthorpe as well. Debunked a couple of things at Kingsthorpe, but there's some things that have gone on at St. John's Baptist Church that are unexplainable or inexplainable.
Yeah.
I was telling you about it one today.
Yeah.
It's just really, really weird.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So I don't really pick anything up in the video, but what happened before to what happened now, it doesn't add up. And just after we finished recording, 4 of us seen a shadow person walking through the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
So they crossed in front of 3 lights, and the way they were walking, there was 3 more lanterns on another grave. They would have had to walk past them, or turn and walk up towards where we were.
Yeah.
So we're all stood waiting for this person to walk past these further lights. Nothing happened. So we all bombed down to the bottom to where this person would be. Nobody there. They'd have had to walk into where the graves are.
Creepy.
But that wasn't on film. It was just really, really weird.
Yeah.
So
that's the premiere on Sunday.
Yeah, so that's, and then next Wednesday is going to be a pre-record with one that me and Deb are doing tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We won't tell you who it is. You can find out next Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah, because you've all been absolutely terrible to me tonight, and I shouldn't have to sit here and take all this abuse when I can go downstairs and get it there.
Yeah, but it's a change, isn't it? I mean, somebody but Becky doing it.
Oh yeah. But...
I just read that at the same time.
Oh, poor Andy. I was going to say he won't ring me now tomorrow, but he will.
Right. Deb won't until Andy reminds her.
He'll ring you and he'll be saying,
Right. Deb,
back on.
quickly, who've we got coming on next week?
It's
someone.
Is he under, have you got him under the table ready?
Yeah, he's waiting. He said he wants it to be a surprise.
Come on, Deborah. Who is it?
It's that fella, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean?
It's that fella. Every week it's that fella.
It's not that one, it's that one.
It's the other one. Not that one, it's the other one. That fella.
You're not funny either. Oh, Nick.
Oh, Nick.
I need to message you. I'll message you tomorrow. I want to ask you something.
Okay.
Don't want to mention it on here because it's private, but it's not dogging areas around Bolton.
No, in fact, I need to message Nick and Mick.
Nick.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
That was hard
It's
work.
sensible for the last 10 minutes.
So,
You're in 10. We've gone
what
over
day
by
is
5.
it today?
I'm still answering your previous question here. Hang on a minute. The diary's out.
What do you think what day it is?
I've not got my diary up, and it's got whiteboard.
So, on Friday the
I'm just reading the.
15th, so it's Jim Goodall.
You missed all the good bits.
I know,
Oh,
yeah.
definitely not. I've just ignored it. You're all awful people.
If I've seen some good ones, I'll bob them on the screen.
No, I'm good.
I'm worn out now. I need an
I
ananas.
am. I'm going to go and cry in the corner.
Don't forget your hat. You know, the
They've
voice
been picking on me.
My hat. Oh. Borrow yours, Joe.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Nick's
she's gone.
gone.
Bye, Nick. See you later.
Thanks for coming.
She's had enough.
I think she.
Right, I was planning on doing that with you two. Gone.
I think she might have clicked on the wrong button.
Double trouble. You know now. Don't get me into
Right.
because
We're
you're in
ending
trouble.
it now anyway. So
Because
I was going to say thanks for you two coming on, but I'm not convinced, to be honest with you.
Oh dear.
I'll definitely be banned tomorrow.
He loves it, really.
I tried to get online tomorrow to come into the group, and it go banned.
Yeah. Joe.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for coming on, Joe.
Yeah. Thanks
And
for
thanks to
coming on,
Nick.
Joe. Thanks to Nick for coming on.
Yeah. Thanks
Thanks for just doing one like that. Thanks to everyone for all your. What's the word?
Half hour, but Andy got to go bye.
Oh, piss taking messages to me. Cheers.
Yeah, that could be it.
What?
He's taking messages.
All right. Yeah. So, no, it has been a laugh tonight. I enjoyed it. Oh, as well. This is the last decode on a Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
The only other stuff that's going to go out on a Wednesday or a Sunday from abuse, that's it. I'm too tired, I can't think. The only other stuff that's going to go out on a Wednesday or a Sunday is going to be pre-records.
Yeah.
And they're just going to pop up as and when. So, because now we've been not doing the Wednesday and us not doing live stream investigations as much. It just gives me more time to go out in the week, do an hour or 2 hours somewhere. I can do it 2-3 times a week, however often or little as possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's going to be more premieres.
Premieres.
And nearly see Dogman and Mothman.
If you don't know, you don't go. No, if you don't go, you don't know. See? You haven't had a nana nap today, and that's it now.
And if you don't know, blame Joe.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. We're done.
We're done.
So
thank you all for joining us.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for the abuse.
Yes. I didn't. They did.
I will see you.
Around the head on my screen.
Right. Cheers, everyone. And see you on Friday.
Yeah. 9 o'clock.
And what we doing?
It's the House of John.
And
I didn't even have to look that up.
You got it right above your monitor.
In Sharpie.
Right. Cheers, everyone. And see you on Friday.
You. Good night.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.